Hey guys, MaliciousCompliance here, and today I'm hopping back into r/MaliciousCompliance for day number 21. It was ridiculous how I've already done 3 weeks of this, and there's only like 10 more days after this episode, because I'm doing a whole, this whole subreddit for a month before moving on to the next tier. I have found a story that is actually yet another reverse malicious compliance. My boss used me for malicious compliance 5 years ago, and I just figured it out. I love how you have to specify that this has nothing to do with Minecraft. You got a note in my book for acknowledging the fact that MC can be confused with Minecraft. Story starts now. I love how you even have to specify when the story starts. About 5 years ago, I was the office guy for a small lumber mill. My direct supervisor was the general manager, but the owner was also pretty hands-on. The mill wasn't generating as much profit as the owner believed it could. He was probably right. The guy was as smart as a whip with 60 years of experience. One of the things the owner tried to do was hire an outside consultant to try and find ways we could safely increase productivity or cut expenses. The guy had owned and operated his own mill and also had a ludicrous amount of experience. One of the things the consultant had been pushing for was running the mill into overtime. He thought we could increase productivity without incurring more expense than we gained. My boss told me to run an analysis of how much we would gain/lose if we ran overtime. I did the math and gave him the results. Even in the best case, every minute of overtime would result in a net loss to the company. This report had taken me several hours, as I wanted to be sure I gave him the right answer. My boss took it, nodded, and the next day announced that we would be running the mill in overtime. 2 weeks later, when I prepared the end of month financial statements, it showed a huge loss. I was quietly seething, since I felt like I had been asked a pointless question, my time wasted, and my input ignored. But looking back on it, with significantly more experience, I think I know what happened. I think my boss was bothered by the consultant who had come in to tell him how to do his job, and then given him bad advice. The owner wouldn't listen to my boss, telling him we didn't need a consultant, so he did exactly what the consultant suggested and let the owner judge for himself. As far as my report went, I think he just wanted to be sure it wouldn't cost us too much when he pulled the trigger. Tom, if you're reading this, I'm sorry I was resentful about the whole affair for the last 5 years. My bad. Please stop. I know. Why are people asking about when this happened? Or who was involved? Just leave this person alone. Open this fucking door, you four-eyed twat. Okie dokie. Hi there, long-time lurker, first-time poster on mobile, so please be gentle. TLDR at the end, of course. I deliver home heating oil in a very rural and mostly flat part of the UK. In my delivery area, there are many large drainage channels or dikes in the local lingo. The roads are often very narrow and single track and frequently run alongside these dikes, separated only by a narrow grass verge. No safety barrier. Anywho, this one day in the depths of winter, it was below freezing. There had been a light splattering of snow and there was a thin scum of ice on the water in the dike. What? I had just finished doing a customer's delivery and was winding in the hose prior to collecting payment and departing. My truck was completely blocking the road as there was nowhere for me to pull it off the road. We are limited by the length of delivery hose. Blocking the road is common and legally acceptable as long as we work quickly and safely. So I was just waiting for the customer to finish writing the check for their oil when this large Mercedes car pulls up behind my truck, and the driver immediately starts leaning on the horn and shouting and swearing and shouting at me to move that fucking truck out of the way now. My usual response when faced with similar behavior is to blank the swearer and pretend they don't exist. Being 6'3" and 285 pounds keeps most people at bay. I ignored Mr. Shallyman and finished up with my customer. The customer said to me, "Ignore him. He's well known in the village for being a bit of a dick." I said goodbye and going, "Oh, that's so fucking perfect. He's known for being a dick." As I was putting away my paperwork prior to driving off, I happened to glance on the driver's side mirror, the same side of the truck as the dike, and saw Mr. Shallyman storming up the side of the truck with a tire iron in his hand. "Oh shit!" thinks I, and immediately hit the central locking button, locking myself in the cab. Next thing I know, Mr. Shallyman has climbed up onto the step and is hanging off the mirror arm with one hand and brandishing the tire iron with the other, all the while shouting, "Open this door, you four-eyed cunt. I wear spectacles for driving. Oh, the window's a man. Lol. Cue malicious compliance." He told me to open the door. So I did. But as I did, I kicked it open. He lost his grip on the mirror arm and was flung backwards into the dike, up to his chest in freezing cold, filthy water. I kindly started my engine and drive off. As I left, I looked in the mirror to see this guy floundering around deep-chested in icy water, dressed in a business suit. I called the customer who had witnessed everything, and happily they said they would give a statement to whoever needed one coming, confirming I acted in self-defense. Then I made a fairly difficult call to my boss and told him what had happened, and he said I'll await his call with interest. No boxing, nothing. When I got to the yard that evening, I asked my boss what had happened, and apparently no call of complaint was made that day or ever. That is my story. Please be gentle. TLDR got threatened by violent motorists. Obeyed his instruction, which caused him to fall into freezing water. Oh my god. It's like someone has a job. I need to get past. I know I can beat up this person, and so this truck just sits here in my fucking way and not just letting the person drive. Why are you that dumb? All you had, this dude was getting into the truck to drive off. All you had to do was be patient as fuck. Oh. Oh my goodness. Lady demands that I stop what I'm doing and open my register. Okay, no problem. I, male 19-year-old, work as a cashier in a gas station in Miami Gardens, Florida. Naturally, the people that come into the store tend to be on the crazier side. Florida man stuff again. The store had a line of maybe 7 people. Now, at this point, I had the register closed sign up, and I was stocking the vaporizers and accessories on the shelves behind the counter. My co-worker was handling the customers in line. I turn when I hear the door opening. Another lady walks in without a mask on. Oh, nice. Good old COVID times. I politely ask, "Excuse me, miss, do you have a mask that you could put on?" She scoffs at me and rolls her eyes as she dug in her purse for a minute or two. Finally, she pulls out a regular mask with only one functional strap and holds it to her face. You fuck. Oh, of course. Thank you, WinZip, for interrupting this video. Random sponsor from WinZip. I'm not editing that out. And she pulls out a rare little mask with only one functional strap and holds it to her face while she's waiting in the line. Well, apparently she couldn't do that for very long. She comes to the front of the line, ranting and raving about how the line is too long and that we shouldn't be keeping a valued regular customer waiting. I've been working here for 4 months and I've never seen her. I'm fairly confident I know all the regulars. By the way, I just want to note, this person doesn't capitalize I except for at the very start, and it's just irritating me. I'm just like, I tell her, oh, there's a capital I. Fuck. I tell her that there are other things that my manager left for me to do before the end of closing, and that I have to get them done. She didn't seem to like that at all. I demand that you open your register right now. Okay, you got it, lady. I moved the sign and then I turned back to her. Do me a favor and stand to your right a little bit. Surprisingly, she complied, albeit with her arms crossed and what I can only assume was an angry gaze firing through her mask. Cue the malicious compliance. Next customer! I yell out into the store. It dawns on her what I'm doing, but the next customer shoots up in front of the counter before she can fully process it. I go about this transaction as normal, despite the fact that this lady is yelling at me at the top of her lungs. No longer holding the mask to her face, mind you, so good old COVID spreading. I finish up with the other customer and I turn to her. She tries to yell over me, so I raise my voice a bit and try to be as stern as possible. I tell her, just because my register is open now doesn't entitle you to skip all the other people in this line who also have lives and jobs and other responsibilities. Get to the back of the line and be respectful, or I have no choice but to remove you from the store. We don't have security, but we're 2 blocks away from a police station, and one of the cool-ass officers who comes into the store gave me their personal number to use, just in case we have any issues. The lady harumphs loudly and walks dejectedly onto the spot in the line she had before she left. In the amount of time it took for her to come for the rest of the story to occur, more people had gone in the line. I said, the back of the line, I told her pointedly. She drops her shoulders and walks to the back like a toddler. People, man. Really? And again, I love the good old Wednesday interruption. Just the perfect pinnacle of screw you, TRScientist. Like, I'm not gonna let you read this story. Just like, I guess with that interruption, I gotta end the episode here. I'm not re-recording this stuff because I've just read 3 stories. What you see is what you get. Anyways, links will be in the description to my main channel and also this channel. Links also on the screen to the playlist and the last episode. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when next video comes out. I'm the Mad Scientist. Mad Scientist out.